Okay, so this is part 2 of surviving and thriving in a world descending into depravity. And it's not that I really think that the whole entire world is descending into depravity. There's just this is just the basic way the world is. It begins with chaos, and then order is established. Then entropy kicks in, usually due to a revolution, and then chaos ensues once again, and then order takes form once again, but this time there's a new order, or a new world order, where the winners and losers are shuffled during the revolution. The winners of the revolution shuffles up all the winners and losers, and then that creates the new world order. And then the whole cycle continues again. So there's order, the new world order, and then everybody starts to revolt against it eventually. Chaos, revolution, and then shuffle the winners and losers, and then we have another new world order. So when I say the world is descending into depravity, I'm not saying that this is so special, like that this period in time is so much more special than any other period. It's not. There's just it's a different combo, because it's a digital age. So technology, the speed of information, and then also the acclamation. This is kind of where people lose their marbles, is that there's this acclamation that has to happen, and not everybody wants to acclimate to the digital age, interacting with technology 24/7, being infiltrated by all the corporations and all the tech companies, because they are infiltrating your lives. Like, we can't not do this stuff on Zoom, and you can't not have a Gmail address or an email address. Most people use Google, or you need to use one of these or have one of these to do anything. And so the platforms, they've infiltrated our lives to a huge extent. Like, if you want off the grid, you could do it, but it's not as easy as it was before. It's pretty much staying in the matrix is what most people are going to do. But so what I'm saying is, a lot of what you see now in the people, like the mass shootings and all this like stuff you see on the news and all this, yeah, it's all like fear mongering. The news is always gonna pump out stuff to either arouse you sexually or to instill fear into you and make you all worried and panicked. And so you keep checking the news, and so you stay watching it and stuff on the app or on the news station. And so everything is advertising. Everybody is doubting you. Everybody is trying to infiltrate you and take things, make you buy something. But the thing is, so I'm going to talk a little bit about villains and trauma and stuff like that in a second. But the thing I want to mention first is doubt. I want to talk about doubt, because here's the thing, like in life, it's really important to trust yourself and to learn to actually listen to yourself. You want to also listen to, of course, mentors or people that are more advanced than you at something, because that's how you learn. And you have to be a student. You have to be a forever student. I don't really believe in like master's degrees or a black belt or stuff like this. Like, why? I mean, it's cool to reach a level of accomplishment and then say, okay, level of accomplishment, but it can also give you a false sense of capabilities, because let's say like in martial arts, like you get some black belt or something. Even in boxing, you win some trophy or some belt. It doesn't mean you're gonna be that lethal forever just because you got those ornaments. No, you have to stay training and doing, and you still have to stay a student. In other words, at all times, forever. There should never really be like an end point. Or, I mean, yeah, if you want to celebrate, that's cool, but you just can't lose sight of the fact that it means nothing. After you get that, it really means nothing. So that's what I mean about learning to trust your own voice, because here's the thing, if you go ask your friends or you go ask someone else, like, what should I do? Do you think I should do this? They're going to tell you something really limited, because most people themselves doubt themselves a lot. And on top of that, people sometimes don't know what to say when you ask them a certain question, so they just tell you whatever they've heard from others. And the reality is, almost 100% of the people, maybe not, some people might have like a special someone that really does think or look out for that person and have the vision and the foresight to see into the future and the potential. Yes, like coaches, that's usually what coaches are good at. They're good at seeing the talent or the potential and then saying, I could see that you have all the tools, all the makeup that you would need to succeed in this, and then you just need someone to train you and pull all that talent out of you and put you through the staircase, make you climb the staircase, so that you could finally realize this talent that you have. But other than those type of coaches, most people are going to doubt you. They're going to think you can't do something, and a lot of times they don't really want you to because they like you. They don't want you to leave. They don't want you to. What happens if you were to succeed too much? Then it makes them doubt themselves even more, because then they say, well, if that person did it, this person I know, how come? Well, then what's my excuse? So this is what I mean, and this applies to doctors as well. People put way too much faith in them. You have to remember too that there's lots of different doctors. You can get second opinions, third opinions, fourth opinions. So like, it's really sad to see people, like my loved ones around me, get these illnesses, and I'm just like, they do everything they're told. They do everything they're told to do by the mainstream, do all the things right, and it still happens. This is why I'm saying you really gotta just listen to yourself. It's not something you should just do without any proof of concept. You actually have to go out and prove it to yourself in order for it to work. But once you realize that it does work, that every single person you asked gave you bad information, and actually you had the answers all along, and it was actually just fear or your own self-doubt that was making you ask other people's for their opinions and all that. So that's what I'm saying. The best thing that you can do, because most people out there, they know what they want. They know what they have to do to get these things. And they just don't believe it. So the whole thing is, pick something that you want to do or accomplish. And if it's crazy, if it's like seemingly impossible, the better. Because the odds are, if it's like just a little bit above impossible, then it's actually totally possible. You're supposed to do that, and everybody is supposed to doubt you, because the whole payoff in achieving that thing that everybody's doubting you about is that they didn't even know it was possible. And so that shows you that a doctor, even an expert doctor that you put all this faith into, thinking that he knows everything, he doesn't know your psychology, he doesn't know your heart, he doesn't know what kinds of things. Look at a skateboarder. Like, if you were to, because I skateboarded for years, if you were to crooked grind 10-stair handrail, that's impossible. If you were to ask a scientist or some physics person, it's impossible. But children do this all the time. So, or teenagers, age 12, 11 to mid-20s, 30s, like, people are doing this crazier stuff than what I just mentioned. If you know what that is. Most people don't know what that is, but just go on YouTube and just look up anything like skateboarding. You will see that it's all impossible. So, and then of course the whole MMA, boxing is all that too. Everybody doubts the person. They train, oh no, you're too this, you're too that, you're not enough this, you're not enough that. And there's this invisible thing that you don't see, which is that person's will, their heart, their experience, and then that X factor. You just really, it's up to you. And if you manufacture and you believe in it, and you put in all the steps and the obsession to get it done, that's what this whole entire realm is doing. Like, you see it happening all the time around you. So don't listen to others, listen to yourself. Only listen to the people that you trust, that can objectively tell you the truth about something. And even then, even those people don't know the whole entire equation. They don't have it all figured out. So just you got to learn how to do that. So now I said I was gonna talk about the trauma thing. So if you watch a lot of movies there's always a bad guy and a villain, and something I always thought was really strange is that the villain will have a really sad story. It's somebody that was tortured and grew up being abused and beaten up and robbed and betrayed, and their family was killed off, and they have this fucked up life. And then like X-Men is a good example. If you look at Magneto was like, his mother was in the concentration camps, and so was he in the Nazi Germany, and then he's a mutant, so he suffered the humans trying to get rid of all the mutants. So his whole life is about people trying to eradicate him and his people. So of course when he grows up, he wants to go to war with the humans, because on both ends of